So for this battle, we see that we've just taken out each other's towers. He took out my bottom left, and I took out his top right. The difference is at this point, I have a bomber on the left side that's going to take out that goblin, and on the right side, I still have my giant up along with a couple of barbarians that are pushing on his king. So at this point, he's kind of worried about his king, so he decides to drop his giant skeleton at the time. That takes up a lot of elixir. I don't know that at the time, that he has low elixir from looking at his bar, because you obviously can't see it mid-fight, but just kind of having an idea of how much elixir your opponent is spending gives you an idea of what or how much they have left to counter. If they're low on elixir, that's the perfect time for you to try to use your prince. As you can see, I'm about to hit 5 elixir to be able to use my prince on the left side. What you want to do is use the prince on the other side to counter whenever your opponent is distracted and has all their troops up on the side that you're pushing on. So, taking a look at this, he's distracted on the right side, he drops a ton of troops on that side. I drop my prince on the left side to counter, which will do a ton of damage to his tower, and then I use the arrows to take out the goblins that could have taken him out. And that allows him enough time to be able to take out that tower. So, moving forward, we'll see a second time when I'll push forward into him to be able to use my prince again. This is towards the end of the battle. So we'll almost take out his king there. We'll push in with a couple of barbarians. At this point, I want to play defensive to make sure my tower doesn't get taken out and gets lost. So at this point, you can see that he dropped a bunch of defensive towers, or a bunch of defensive buildings on the left side with barbarians and spear goblins and whatnot. So I loaded my troops on the right side to keep him dumping troops on that side and to ignore everything on his left side. Once he was fairly low on elixir, I decided to drop my knight, and he didn't put down anything at this point. I don't think. He probably was waiting for either barbarians, which is a good counter to the prince, because once he charges them, he only takes out one, and the other three will take him out. I guess he wanted to save his hog rider to maybe try to take out the tower, but he doesn't end up putting it down, and that's going to cost him. So we'll go ahead and see the end of this replay. The knight will charge in, he drops his barbarians just a little bit too late, and we're able to take out the king. So, 2 examples of how to use the knight to counter in this one battle. So, for this battle, you can see that we're still pretty evenly squared at about 42 seconds into the battle. I've used the bomber to counter the witch, which you'll see in a different video. But at this point, I'm going to want to push in on one side and use the knight to counter again on the other side. So what we'll do is, to tank for the bomber, we'll push in with the giant on that side. So I'll drop the giant ahead of the bomber, he'll tank for him. And then this guy will go ahead and drop his barbarians. And then his skeletons, which puts him at pretty much no elixir at this point. So he's only got 2. And I drop my prince on the left side. So he's not able to counter the prince. The prince charges the tower, which does double damage, and is free to do whatever he wants until this guy gets enough elixir to be able to counter with some troops. So let's take a look at how much damage we're able to do, and then what I'll do is I'll counter his troops coming in with arrows. So it takes out pretty much all the skeletons, and the tower is able to defend it itself. Pretty much the knight and the prince in the meantime is able to take that tower down to about 270 health. So again, being able to counter with the prince in a situation like that is almost game breaking, because he can take out the tower almost guaranteed, or come close to it. So that's pretty much the way I use the knight or the prince, and I've seen him use similarly with other people. So you do want to be careful if your opponent has it, or if you have the prince. You do want to try to find those spots where your opponent's kind of distracted and spending too much elixir to defend your attacks on one side, and drop them on the other side where it's free to just run in and take out the tower.